Hey guys, this is Jeff and today we're making pork spare ribs. So let me start off by saying I'm no rib expert. I've been making them for about a little over a year now, I suppose, regularly on the Kamado Joe. I've used a bunch of different methods and sauces and so on. The way I'm doing them today is my go-to method. You can use whatever sauce you prefer or like, or no sauce at all, completely up to you. And if you're using an oven, I'll put some instructions in the description below for you to follow along to. And feel free to ask me any questions in the comments after you watch the video. I'm more than happy to answer them. Okay, so let's get started. First, we need to trim up these pork ribs. Okay, so first off what we want to do is cut a little tab here. We need to rip this membrane off the back, so grab a paper towel and with your fingertips just have at it. If you're lucky it'll pull off in one go, if you're not, it'll take you 17 times like it took me here, and I didn't want to put it on camera because it was completely embarrassing, but eventually we got there. Once you've done that, we want to do what's called a St. Louis cut on these ribs. I'm still learning how to do this properly, but essentially what I was taught watching a lot of barbecue videos was to find the longest bone and cut a straight line across the back of the ribs from the longest bone. And what we do that for is, you can see here on the footage all of those rib tips that are in there, that's all gristle. Pretty beautiful meat still, and you'll see that I'll cook it alongside the ribs here, but probably a little bit fiddly to eat, so that's why we cut that off. And then we just want to square them off, not cutting into the bone, Jeff. Well, there we go. We just want to square these off, and then you've got a nice kind of rectangular rack of ribs. Next, salt and pepper on the backside. I only salt and pepper the backside without the rub that has sugar in it, because I find it tends to burn up, and I don't like that so much. So for me personally, just a light coating of salt and pepper on the back. Then we'll flip these guys over. I've pre-prepared a seasoning rub, which I will have in the description below, and you just want to sprinkle a nice even coating over the top. You can use a binder such as mustard or olive oil, or even apple cider vinegar if you like, but I tend to find that if you sprinkle it on and leave them sit on the bench for 10 minutes, it starts to sweat up a little bit and the rub kind of tacks on anyway, so I don't really need to do that. Alright, Kamado's up to temp, 120 degrees Celsius, 250 Fahrenheit. I've got it over a chunk of apple wood today. Apple pork, great combination. And we want to put these guys on to smoke initially for 2 hours. And in the meantime, probably after the first hour, I'm going to spritz them with an apple cider vinegar and water mix. And I'll show you how to do that shortly in a spray bottle that I bought from the hardware store or from the shopping centre or wherever you get them. So here's mine, and you just want to give it a nice, decent kind of spray, a coating. We do that to keep the ribs nice and moist. So in the last hour I did this, I think 3 times. Just whenever they start to look a little bit dry, I just check them periodically. Here's my second spritz. I won't show you all of them, but just spritz, 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 and keeps them nice and moist. After about 2 hours, when the rub is dry and set on the pork and we're starting to get a little bit of a bark, we want to set a foil pack for them to wrap them for 1 hour. So make sure your foil is nice and sturdy. Grab the ribs off the grill, put them in the middle and spray them again with apple cider vinegar and water, both on the ribs and around. We want to give a nice kind of base of liquid to steam inside the foil pack. Next, we're going to add a couple of knobs of butter, because why not? I'm adding Le Pack, and it's delicious. A drizzle of your favourite barbecue sauce, one you made at home or one that you've lazily bought from the shop like I did today. Drizzle of that and a sprinkling of brown sugar for sweetness. It's optional, you can put whatever you like, but I kind of like it this way. It keeps them nice and juicy as well, I think, or helps to. And then you want to wrap this guy up nice and tight, being very careful not to puncture the foil pack. You don't want any steam or sauce to drizzle out everywhere like I've done 1,000 times. Trust me, no good. Makes a mess and you lose all that valuable goodness on the inside. So that's done. Pop them back on the smoker, same temperature, and we're going to steam those in the foil pack now for about 1 hour. I did it bang on 1 hour here. As soon as it's done, or as soon as an hour ticks over, we want to take them out of the foil pack and put them back on the grill. And we're going to do that for about somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on probably the size of your ribs, how meaty they are. In this case, mine weren't quite cooked through yet, as in not tender enough. So I left mine on for a full half an hour, and I glazed it 4 times in that period. So if it's 15 minutes, you probably glaze them twice. I gave them a glaze kind of 3 or 4 times because, why not? So drizzle a little bit of sauce on, paint it on there, and then we'll let it tack up at 8 to 10 minutes a time and add a little bit more. That looks beautiful. What is it about shiny food on a grill that just looks amazing? I just want to eat it just looking at it. And I'm doing this voiceover 3 days later, so anyway. Shut up, Jeff. Okay, second glazing. I won't show you all of them, but this was the second time I did it. Looking great. Yeah, okay dude, come on. You're not Rembrandt. Stop painting. There we go. Alright, good. There we go, yes. Nooks and crannies, beautiful. And another obligatory slow-mo, because why not? Alright, these guys are done. So what I'll show you here is I'll pick these up with the tongs, and you can see that I turn these around, they're almost breaking under their own weight. Not quite, but almost. You don't want them falling off the bone, you want them to be juicy on the inside and a bite through texture, and at about this time when you think they're going to break if you're too rough with them, that's pretty much where we're at. So these guys are done, we'll get them in and slice them up. So upside down on the board so you can see the bone line and cut through, and I'm going to take a nice juicy bit out of the middle because, well, why not? And eat the little bit that fell off. There we go. And what you want is a bite through texture exactly like that. So it doesn't fall off the bone, but when you bite it, it comes off the bone clean. Slice them all up, whack them on a plate, add some more sauce, and look how juicy they are. They were absolutely unbelievable. Some of the best I've made. Absolutely beautiful. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya.